Look out, everyone!
Yes.
I'm missing Man from Uncle.
That's a great show.
Did you catch the final episode of The Fugitive last month?
I sure did. That's the way to wrap up a series.
You like The Saint?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Avengers is good too. I think my favorite is Get Smart though.
I love Get Smart. What about Mission Impossible?
Good show, great theme song. I'm looking forward to The Prisoner. I guess that's starting next Friday.
I haven't heard too much about that one.
It sounds kinda strange. More of a science fiction thing. But I'm willing to give it a shot.
You like our man Flint?
That was a funny movie. I wish In Like Flint was a little better though.
Well, it's better than The Silencers. Matt Helm doesn't do much for me.
Yeah, there's a new one coming out around Christmas. The Ambushers.
I'll probably see it, but I'm not expecting much.
Heck, I better get to my post before Lowell comes back. Fun talking to ya.
Yes, take care.
Are you sure she's in the building?
Positive. We have confirmation from Site 2.
Damn, we'd better double up on security.
You probably won't make it to this floor, but I guess it's better to be careful.
Damn, we'd better double up on security.
You probably won't make it to this floor, but I guess it's better to be careful, eh?
I'll go wake up Chansey. He's asleep in the break room.
Good shot!
You seen Stinks lately?
Who?
Phillips, you seen him?
Not in the past 20 minutes or so.
Where the hell is he?
What did you call him?
Stinks. You never heard that?
No, that's hilarious.
Yeah, everybody calls him that.
He does stink. Anybody who smokes that many cigarettes a day definitely needs to bathe more than once a week.
I'd hate to see the bathwater when he gets out. Probably looks like an oil slick.
Stinks. That's just so perfect.
I suggest you lower your... Change
Incoming fire!
Yes. Did you hear that Mischief Incorporated went out of business?
You're kidding!
Dear, what have we here?
I wish I were. I really miss those guys.
Oh dear, they sure were innovative. Generated some of the best headlines I've ever read.
You got that right. I'll never forget that whole penguin suit debacle. That was a work
Come out
of
here when I
art.
can see you. What did Troy have to say?
That callous bastard. I was talking to Simon and we were agreeing what a sad day it was. When in struts Troy. As you might expect, he immediately starts sermonizing. It's not sad, says he. It's a natural progression of events. He goes on about how niche-oriented they were, and all that stuff about how you gotta pull off big capers if you want to make it in this business.
Typical. What did you say?
I says, Troy, just 'cause death is a biological necessity doesn't make it hurt any less when our loved ones pass on, does it? If me and Simon want to grieve the loss of a great organisation, you could at least show a little respect, eh?
I'm sure that line of reasoning went right over his head.
Well, it might have, but by that time Simon had him on the ground and was beating the crap out of him.
You're kidding!
Oh, he knocked out one of the bastard's teeth.
Serves him right.
I'll say.
Come on!
Oh dear, yes. Look, really, we're going to catch you. It's only a matter of moments now. Look, there's no disgrace in giving up. Do the right thing, won't you? Come out.
What, is there anyone there?
Hey, Pally, forget about it, eh? I don't want to be here all day. Would you come out? We've almost got you anyways.
This can't be good. Hello? Come out for bleeding sake.
Come out. Yes. Come out for bleeding sake. Do the bloody thing, won't you? Come out. Look, I know you're there. Do us all a favour and come out, won't you? Come out over there! Oh, this guy looks dead. I know you're there. Come out here where I can see you. I'm going to hide down here. Look, there's no disgrace in giving up. Look, I know you're there. Do us all a favour and come out, won't you? Oh, did you take that?
not going to get...
So strong now. Could someone dispose of this corpse?
You're going down, mate.
A bit of a sticky wicket here.
Let's get out of here. What's wrong? Volkov.
Once again, I find myself aiming a pistol at someone you care about. Drop your gun.
How do I know you won't shoot him?
You don't. But you can be sure that I will shoot him. Unless you do as I say.
Don't listen to him, Archer.
I realize you are American, and therefore feel entitled to speak your mind whenever you please. But you are also at gunpoint, and very likely to be shot if you don't shut up!
Go to hell.
What did you say?
Nothing.
I heard you. Tell me what you said.
I thought you wanted me to shut up. Now you want me to talk? Make up your damn mind.
You are testing my patience. Miss Archer, I suggest you drop your weapon before your obnoxious American friend forces me to silence him, once and for all.
Don't do it. Get out of here now.
Here. Give
Tom.
yourself up.
Go. Go.
After her! I hope you are pleased.
A bittersweet success, to be sure, but a success nonetheless. Recovering from Agent Goodman's death will be no easy task, but you can be sure harm won't sit idly by while you grieve. The information you recovered from the headquarters of Dumas Industrial Enterprises may prove to be the break you've needed. Report to the war room for a full briefing.
Go.
Tom!
Get out of here now.
Agent Cate Archer, please report to the war room. Thank you.
Agent Goodman's death is a terrible blow, no question about it. But although this mission was costly, it may well prove to have been worth the price.
I wish I could believe that.
You mustn't lose sight of our objectives. The sacrifice of any or all of us is a small price to pay to preserve the lives we will save if we are successful. Tom knew the risks. So did Bruno. So do you.
Knowing the risks doesn't really prepare you for losing a partner. It certainly doesn't prepare you for losing two.
Nothing can prepare you. The loss of an operative is never expected and is always tragic. But as horrible as it sounds, it's also inevitable. It's a dangerous job.
Perhaps Mr. Smith is right. Perhaps I'm not up to the task.
Rubbish. You've performed remarkably well under extraordinarily difficult circumstances. I confess I was somewhat skeptical at first, but that was before I grasped the magnitude of the situation. In my entire tenure as a field operative, I never once faced a crisis this formidable, and certainly can't say I would have done so with the aplomb and competence you've demonstrated thus far.
I didn't realize you were a field operative.
Indeed, for 14 years. After the war, I found I was having a hard time adjusting to civilian life. Fortunately, an old acquaintance of mine was recruiting for Unity and happened to ring me one afternoon. I've never looked back. Sort of difficult to imagine, isn't it?
Not at all.
You flatter me. Anyhow, let's have no more self-pity. What do you say?
Yes, sir. So before you served on the committee, you and Bruno were colleagues.
And friends.
Did you ever work together on an assignment?
Frequently. We lost track of how many times we'd saved each other's lives.
And you still believe he was capable of treason?
In my heart, no. Intellectually, I don't quite know what to believe. No question about it. He was always a steadfast, resourceful fellow, but the history books are full of patriots turned traitors. There's no telling what a man is capable of, given the appropriate temptations.
I know what I believe.
I admire your conviction, and I pray you're right. Ah, Mr. Smith, I hope you have some good news.
Good news would be that we hadn't lost another valuable agent on this mission.
What news do we have?
Well, our analysis of Agent Archer's photographs is complete.
And?
We have a possible lead on Dr. Schenker's whereabouts.
I think we can classify that as good news.
As I said, it's all relative. This harm situation isn't the only crisis in the world, and we're fast running out of competent field agents.
Then suppose you get to the point and tell us what we know about Dr. Schenker so we can go fetch him.
It's somewhat speculative at this point, but it's possible that harm is keeping him at a secret underground research facility in North America. We don't know the exact location of this facility, but thanks to the files Archer photographed, we know it exists, apparently in the vicinity of a lumberyard in western Washington state. It seems the site is being supplied by an American Railways passenger train. Records and research has dug up evidence of various trains making unscheduled stops in the area over the past 3 weeks.
At regular intervals?
Indeed, probably to drop off supplies and personnel. We're certain that at least one American Railways engineer is on the harm payroll, although several individuals may be involved. We're looking into it.
What's my assignment?
Phase 1 will be to apprehend the engineer or engineers in question so that we can interrogate them. Once you're aboard the train...
How exactly am I to get aboard?
We'll smuggle you into the galley car.
Lovely.
Anyhow, once you're aboard, you will meet with a contact who will tell you precisely whom you'll need to detain. It is safe to presume that other harmed personnel will be aboard the train, so subtlety is advisable. Needless to say, seizing the conspirators will prevent the train from making its stop, so you'll have to be sure to detrain at the appropriate time.
Well, after falling out of an airplane, I suppose jumping off a moving train can't be that bad.
That won't be necessary. Once your objectives are complete, you must head for the caboose and detach it when you're near the lumberyard. We'll have an agent in place to switch the track and reroute you to an unused depot behind the lumberyard. This area is not likely to be heavily guarded, so you shouldn't have much difficulty getting through. If all goes according to plan, you will rendezvous with another undercover agent who will, we hope, have information that should help you locate the underground base.
Then I grab Dr. Schenker and get the hell out.
Precisely. We'll have a helicopter nearby awaiting your signal. Your flight departs in 1 hour, so if you need to stop by the toy shop, now's the time.
Understood. Thank you for putting things in perspective for me, sir. I promise you I will do everything in my power to destroy harm.
Archer?
Sir?
Don't let anger cloud your judgment. Revenge is an understandable impulse, but it is also a contemptible one. Our job is not to avenge, but to protect.
I can't just shut off my feelings like a tap.
No, but you can bridle them and use them to fuel your resolve. Destroy harm, but do it to save innocent lives, not to retaliate for those already lost. The moment you give in to wrath, you become as reprehensible as the monsters we're hunting. Clearly, we are all called upon to take lives from time to time, but we must neither relish it nor agonize over it. It is a duty, plain and simple. Not a pleasant one, but often a necessary one.
I'll do my best, sir.
I have absolute confidence that you will.
There was one more thing, although I'm not sure how important it is. According to one of the documents Archer photographed, it seems the Baron's wife changed her surname some time ago.
Really? So her maiden name isn't McLean?
It's Farnsworth.
Felicity Farnsworth? Are you quite sure?
Positive. Do you know of her?
Aye, that I do. When she was 8 years old, her father, a wealthy banker, was involved in a nasty public scandal involving unmentionable acts with a 12-year-old boy.
How dreadful.
Mr. Farnsworth committed suicide shortly thereafter. Felicity and her mother, by all accounts a vapid socialite, were ruthlessly ostracized by their peers. Guilt by association, presumably. Furthermore, rather than inheriting the fortune she expected, Mrs. Farnsworth discovered that her late husband had left the family in inescapable debt. She went quite mad. Several days after being institutionalized, she hung herself.
My word, that poor child.
Felicity fell into the custody of an elderly aunt whose lifestyle was apparently rather more severe than she was accustomed to. About a year later, the aunt took a fatal tumble down the stairs.
Foul play?
No mention was ever made.
What happened to the girl?
She ended up with a foster family where she remained until she was 14. One night she went out her bedroom window and was never seen again. Or at least no one recognized her.
Astonishing.
Where did you learn so much about her?
I studied her.
Come again?
I believe I first read about her in a gossip column. I was intrigued by the similarities in our background, so I dug deeper.
What similarities?
Well, we both came from wealthy families. We were both orphaned at a relatively early age. Our fathers both killed themselves, although for very different reasons. We were both plunged into undesirable circumstances and resorted to rather desperate measures to survive. I found it quite uncanny at the time, although in retrospect I think we had less in common than I once believed.
Adversity is the truest test of character. The strong are strengthened by it, the weak made weaker. It sounds like this Baroness didn't have the wherewithal to cope with her misfortunes. It's a common trend among terrorists and bullies that they imagine themselves persecuted by fate and therefore feel justified in harming others.
You're frothing.
Sorry, I get carried away.
She's involved somehow.
The Baroness? Upon what unimpeachable evidence are you basing that supposition?
I just have a feeling.
Ah, then the case is as good as closed.
I don't expect you to believe me, but I'll count on you to say something smug if I'm right.
It's virtually guaranteed.
I'm not smug. Acerbic, perhaps, maybe even sardonic, but not smug.
Okay, sure, whatever you need to tell yourself.
I have to agree with her, Smith.
Don't either of you have work to do?
Aye, sir. Off I go.
Good luck.
Welcome to Advanced Field Tactics. We've a new perfume for you. This one's a real scorcher. It's a concentrated acid gas with a jelly base to make it sticky. You definitely don't want to get it on you. Here's a spiffy new device that should make dealing with security cameras less of an ordeal. When fastened to a camera, it generates a still image from the camera's viewpoint that should convince... Excellent. Riding a motorcycle is easier than you might suspect. To get on, simply walk up and activate. Ramming an enemy at speed is an effective way to clear a path. Excellent.
If Dr. Schenker is indeed being held in this secret underground research facility in North America, it's a safe bet he won't be there for long once Harm figures out what you're up to. The first step is to identify and detain the American Railways conspirator so that we can interrogate him. You will then need to locate the hidden entrance to the facility, find Dr. Schenker, and get him out alive. Without him, we're doomed.
Have you seen anything suspicious?
Like what?
There's a spy aboard this train.
Are you sure?
I am.
How do you know?
I have my sources.
That doesn't really answer my question.
Let's just say I heard it from a little birdie that someone's been poking around, nosing for information about our obliging engineer friend.
Oh.
We don't want that information falling into the wrong hands, do we?
Well, I haven't seen any spies.
If you do, let me know. We don't tolerate spies.
I'll keep an eye out.
See that you do.
Moron.
Did you say something?
What?
I could have sworn I just heard you call me a Mormon.
Why would I call you a Mormon?
I have no idea.
Do you have something against Mormons?
No.
Then why are we having this conversation?
I don't know.
See you later, then.
Count on it.
Why?
Because I'm not.
What's wrong?
If we had taken a plane, we would have been there yesterday morning. Instead, we're still stuck in this sardine can.
You know how I feel about airplanes.
And you know how I feel about long, boring train rides because we do this every time we go anywhere.
Sorry. Next time you can fly and I'll ride the train.
You mean travel separately?
Why not?
You don't like traveling with me?
Sure, but I want you to be happy.
You're just trying to get rid of me, aren't you?
Tickets, please.
Calm down.
You probably just want to have an affair with some train-riding hussy.
Don't be silly.
Tickets, please.
Was a great supper. Did you have the chicken or the fish? I'm on my way to visit my mother in Portland. I can't think of a better way to travel, can you?
Tickets, please. Tickets, please. Tickets, please. Hello? Tickets, please. Tickets, please. Tickets, please. Tickets, please. Tickets, please.
I love riding the train.
We got us a smile this train.
They say that every week.
Yeah, but this time there was some guy asking around about the engineer that's working for us.
They say that every week, too.
Well, it makes me nervous.
Everything makes you nervous. Pipe down, will you? I'm trying to admire the scenery.
Well, maybe I'd be less nervous if you do your job instead of staring out the window.
Yeah? Well, maybe you'd be less nervous if you were lying in a hole in the ground 6 feet under.
Don't threaten me.
Or what?
I'll tell Roscoe.
Go ahead. Just you, or is it hot in here?
Either way, I think you need a cold shower.
What kind of halfwit comes up with these code phrases anyway?
I know what you mean. What do you have for me?
Looks like the assistant engineer has been acting alone. Crew compartments are all the way at the front of the train. We should be able to find him there, since his shift doesn't start for another half hour.
Perfect.
Who are you? No, please, don't hurt me!
That should keep you out of trouble for a spell.
Is that a caboose?
Yup.
What do you think it's doing out here?
Not sure.
Should we report it?
Probably.
Maybe we should check it out first.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes. Hey, Delaney, you got a phone call.
Who is it?
Sounds like your girlfriend.
Tell her I'm out on patrol.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I got better things to do than talk to her.
Like what?
Like stand here looking at my shoes. I'll see her this weekend and there won't be any need for talking.
Yeah, what a romantic.
Ain't I sweet? I don't know. Then what use are you?
guy didn't know... Hey, that reminds me of a funny story. Back when I was in Korea, this guy got transferred into our unit. Green as hell. I mean, he'd never been out of his hometown before.
I hate that guy. He's always shooting his mouth off.
Hey, that reminds me of a funny story. Back when I was in Korea, this guy got transferred into our unit. Green as hell. I mean, he'd never been out of his hometown before.
We had guys like that. They didn't tend to last long.
Well, this guy didn't know what a sucker he was. He was a loudmouth little bastard, always acting tough and picking fights, scrawny as a pluck chick too. So one day we're getting shelled, this big rock comes clanging down this little Marine's helmet. He takes it personal, right? Gets up and starts cussing and hollering. The lieutenant shouting at him to hug the dirt, but he's just on a roll. Probably figures he can cuss the whole North Korean army into submission.
I guess you gotta admire his courage.
Stupidity's more like it. Anyway, he's just going on and on and on, and the lieutenant tells me to get the idiot off his feet because he's marking our position for the mortars. So I start crawling over there, yelling at him to give it up, and he starts calling me chicken and saying how scared I am.
I hope you knocked him on his butt.
I was right about to when this rifle round comes zinging along and rips his lower jaw clean off his face.
Jeez.
He's just staring at me, and I'm staring at him, and all of a sudden I start laughing. I can't stop. I'm just choking on laughter. Of course, he finally figures out he ought to hit the dirt, but now he's bleeding all over and making these pathetic noises.
How come you were laughing?
Because it was just so perfect. He loved shooting off his mouth, but he wasn't too happy about having it shot off for him. It was unreal.
What happened to the kid?
Oh, he croaked.
That's a hell of a story.
It's got a good moral, too.
Yep, I guess it does.
I ought to tell Hanson that story.
I doubt he'd get it. Guys like that just don't realize what suckers they are.
So, didn't you used to work for Evil Alliance?
Yeah, for about a week.
That bad, huh?
You ever heard that saying about the banality of evil?
About the Holocaust, yeah.
Well, that definitely applies to Evil Alliance. Those guys are a bunch of idiots with huge entitlement issues. They really think the world owes them something.
That's pretty common in this line of work.
No kidding. I mean, I totally understand not wanting to have a legitimate job, but at least be honest about it. Some guys get so self-righteous, like it's okay to be evil because life is hard. Hell with that. Deal with it. Be a man.
I always heard good things about Evil Alliance. I know a lot of guys that think they're this great little organization.
Yeah, they have this weird credibility in the criminal industry for some reason. But you notice the media doesn't take them seriously at all.
I never really thought about it, but you're right.
The guy that runs it is a total moron. He's the most conniving, ambivalent little bastard I ever met. One day he's anti-American, the next he loves America and he hates the Germans.
Sounds like a real jerk.
Sad thing is, those idiots will never realize how insignificant they are. It's kind of ironic. They're irritating because they're stupid, but they're too stupid to realize it, which makes them even more irritating.
I don't mind them being stupid. I can tolerate stupid people. I just can't stand smug, stupid people.
Ah, well, what you gonna do?
You just gotta vent every once in a while, you know?
I guess so. Well, I better get back. See ya!
Stay alert. There's been some trouble upstairs.
What kind of trouble?
Spy trouble.
How do you know?
That's just what they told me.
I'd like to see a spy try to get in here.
Well, make sure you're ready just in case one does. Huh? Who's there? When's this stuff shipping out?
Tomorrow afternoon.
What's in these crates, anyway?
I don't know.
Supplies?
Could be.
You don't know?
No, I don't.
How is that possible?
The stuff arrives in these crates. I check and make sure everything's accounted for. And then either it goes downstairs or we ship it to the tropics. What's inside is none of my business. If they wanted me to know, they'd label the crates.
You've never peeked?
Why would I?
Ain't you the least bit curious?
No, I'm not.
Not even a little bit?
Maybe a little.
Let's open one.
No way, pal.
Ah, come on.
For...
Not even a little bit?
Maybe a little.
Let's open one.
No way, pal.
Ah, come on.
Forget it.
Please?
What the heck? National Geographic magazine.
That's unexpected. That's unexpected. That's unexpected. That's unexpected. expected.
Who goes there?
You can't hide!
is not.
It is too.
It 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 is not. It is... Ah, hell, I can't even remember what we were talking about. Anybody there?
Me neither. Truce?
Truce. Hello? Identify yourself.
You can't expect the solution to react without a catalyst.
There is a catalyst. That's not the problem.
Are you sure your proportions are correct?
Positive. I measured everything twice.
You included all the ingredients?
Yes, yes!
Even the sodium nitrate?
Oh, damn. I forgot about that.
Gott in Himmel! You're alive?
More or less.
But I saw you fall out of the plane without a parachute.
Oh, that. Well, someone loaned me one on the way down. Very generous of them. Anyway, I thought I'd drop by and see if you'd like to get out of here.
I would indeed. If I had known I'd end up in a place like this, I never would have left Berlin. But I suppose that was part of the plan.
What do you mean?
It seems we have been carefully manipulated by harm all along. My decision to defect and your organization's decision to aid me were part of an intricate scheme. I have overheard my captors discussing the matter. Harm wanted my research, but they didn't want to draw attention to themselves in order to get it.
So they let us do the dirty work.
Precisely. I was approached by one of their agents, who filled my head with tantalizing stories of the West and the freedom I would find there should I defect. He took care of the arrangements, knowing full well that I would end up here.
Ingenious. Their only mistake was to underestimate us.
This way, through these doors.
Although the rescue of Dr. Schenker was absolutely imperative if Unity were to have even the merest hope of victory, it comes at a grievous cost. There is much still to accomplish, but very little time in which to do so.
This morning at exactly 9:02 a.m., there was an explosion of unknown origin in the town of Shilling, England.
That's where the Baroness grew up.
Well, case closed. Arrest her immediately.
Scoff all you please.
The source of this blast was a banker by the name of Lester Cheems. Casualties are estimated at over 1,300 innocent people. Their blood is on the hands of the agency responsible for kidnapping Dr. Otto Schenker from us. Until he is returned to the facility from which he was abducted, we shall continue to mete out similar punishments every 48 hours. That is all.
Those figures are correct, by the way.
1,300 people.
I suppose we can assume Harm is capable of delivering on its threats.
Indeed, which means we have exactly 2 days to complete our objectives.
Can we have records and research find out if this Lester Cheems ever knew Felicity Farnsworth?
I suppose, although I can't see that it will prove anything.
You never know.
Well, I, for one, am reticent to implicate a respected public figure on the basis of mere coincidence.
You call it coincidence. I call it circumstantial evidence.
Knowing the victim of a crime hardly qualifies as circumstantial evidence.
That depends on the victim, the crime, and the circumstances, doesn't it?
Enough of this bickering. Send in Dr. Schenker, if you please. Here you are. Thank you for joining us, Doctor. I hope your accommodations are adequate.
Exceptional, thank you. Hello again, Miss Archer.
Hello, Doctor.
I'm sorry there wasn't time to brief you sooner, but I imagine you've already heard about this morning's disaster.
I have.
Then I'm sure you can understand the need for alacrity in devising a plan of action. Harm has promised another attack within the next 48 hours unless we hand you over, which imposes a rather daunting deadline.
How can I help?
We need to know who Harm has infected with the reagent, and we need the antidote.
Unfortunately, I cannot help you with the first problem. I was never told how the reagent was being used or on whom. I'm afraid it would not make much difference, even if I had. I'm terrible with names, you see.
What about the antidote?
Yes, that is also a problem. You see, the antidote is highly unstable and can therefore only be produced in a zero-gravity environment.
You mean outer space?
Quite so.
So in other words, Harm was lying about having the antidote.
Not true. They do have it.
So they stole it?
They developed it.
But how's that possible?
Harm has its own space program.
That's preposterous.
Not necessarily. A few weeks ago, the U.S. branch reported an unscheduled rocket launch from a small tropical island off the coast of Mandaru.
Are you sure it wasn't the Soviets?
It's certainly possible, although we have plenty of spies in the Soviet Union and none could confirm a launch.
This is starting to sound like circumstantial evidence, Mr. Smith.
Agreed, but it's the only lead we have. If it is Harm, I certainly can't explain where the funding and materials are coming from. Maybe the Soviets are involved.
At the moment, all that matters is that we get our hands on that antidote.
Very well. Archer, your job will be to locate and infiltrate the launch facility and recover a sufficient quantity of the antidote for our purposes.
Assuming this is even the right place.
Yes.
Understood.
We'll give you a radio frequency to use in case you need to contact us. Your code name will be Foxhunt. Ours is Foxhound.
Did Bruno tell you that story?
Yes, he did.
What story?
When Archer was a girl, her father took her on a fox hunt. The fox got away.
Fascinating, but I fail to see the relevance.
In her other occupation, Archer was known as the Fox. As Bruno told it, you were so impressed with the Fox's escape from such a dire predicament, you adopted it as a personal symbol. Is that right?
Something like that.
That sort of resourcefulness would certainly serve us well right about now.
What an amusing anecdote. Shall we take turns telling stories? Or shall we get back to the mission at hand?
When do I leave?
As soon as possible.
Let's just hope I find myself in harm's way, if you take my meaning.
If we're wrong about this, there will be hell to pay. Good luck, Archer. We're counting on you.
Welcome to Advanced Field Tactics. It's likely that this island is heavily mined to discourage unwanted visitors. So we've equipped your sunglasses with a new scanner capable of detecting most proximity-triggered explosive devices. When you activate the mine detector function, these devices will become visible to you, enabling you to avoid them. Using the next function key, cycle to your sunglasses mine detector function and pick your way past these mines. They are live, so watch your step. Excellent.
There is a small but nonetheless intriguing possibility that Harm is storing the antidote for the reagent at a secret launch facility on an island off the coast of Mandaroo. Your first objective will be to establish whether or not such a facility even exists. If it does, you must infiltrate it and retrieve a container of the antidote.
Just got word that the sub's delayed.
Good. We still haven't finished clearing out the last shipment. What's the ETA?
Probably around 9 p.m., maybe later.
I could use some overtime pay.
Don't count on it.
Well then, don't count on anybody being here to unload the sub.
All right, I'll see what I can do.